So today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to walk through some different options. I have a lot of agents ask me about EXP, about the brokerage, what should you join or not. Only certain type of agents and people that are willing to do certain things should join EXP, become part of the brokerage. It's not for everybody. So I'm going to go through the reasons why you shouldn't join and if you're better suited for a different broker. This is something you really should watch. It'll be nice and short and sweet, like most of my videos are. Walk you through the system, show you how it works, what doesn't work, how you can understand, and they'll take you through the whole setup, and I'll walk through some simple slides, walk you through some different options, kind of explain about it so you have a good breakdown of what it can offer. And if you're interested in joining EXP, please reach out. I'll mention in the video. Like and subscribe as well for the channel, and I have some other videos talking about different things. I am an EXP trainer, big time with KV Core and Lofty, two of the things we offer at EXP, among other things. So hopefully this video will bring a lot of value to you, and we'll jump right into it and get you in it. So one of the things you really need to understand if you're thinking about EXP and if it may or not be for you, you need to understand a little bit about real estate and how it's progressed. So when it first started, as you can see, that real estate started with called the no cap model. That was what brokers doing 70-30 and no cap, 60-40 no cap, 80-20 no cap. That means no matter how much business you did, you are never going to cap out. You're always going to keep paying your broker everything you make forever. Then after this, of course, this is not very good agent centric. It doesn't help the agents. I'm kind of laughing a little bit because I was in a no cap model, not knowing as a new agent myself that I couldn't cap, that I was that even if I did amazing, which I did my first couple of years, I was still max an 85-15. I could never cap. I always paid 15%. No matter how many 40, 50 deals a year I was doing, I was still 85-15. So that was funny that I'm laughing at that because I didn't know what kind of model I was into, which is great. That's why you learn and you grow and you do better. So that's that no cap model where it's there, it goes through. That's where real estate started, and there's still companies out there doing that. My first two companies, actually, my second one as well, I was still at a no cap model. I was 70-30, no cap right here. And that's where I was for like 3 years, 2.5 years. And I loved it there. It was great. It worked well, but it was not the opportunity that I'm thinking about now and what I look for now. As a new agent, it was good. It gave me a place to be, but it was not a place I could progress. And then we go now to the cap model. These are places that you usually see right now, where you're at like 80-20, 70-30, something like that. It's an 18,000 cap or whatever your cap is. A lot of companies right now are around 18,000. There's some less, don't get me wrong. We'll talk about some of those. And then these two, the no cap and the cap model, are franchises. What that means is that this is something you would buy. Say for Keller Williams is great. They did an amazing job with their franchise. No, I'm not putting them down at all. I think they're an amazing company. So they started, they got great. They built the franchise. People bought their franchise and just blew it up and kept going. And then it just kept getting bigger and bigger. And then after that, then we went to this cap model, ownership model where we are now. EXP is not the only company out there that does this. I think it's the best, of course, because I'm here. I'm a little biased, I admit it. But there's other companies out there that can do great jobs as well. There's 3 or 4 that I can think of at the top of my head that have photocopied EXP, trying to do as well or better. Of course, again, once you make a photocopy, it's hard to be as good as the original, but they're trying, which is good. When you see something that's working, you might as well make a copy of it and try to make it yours. So right here, this is where you get your cap model. For example, we have a 80-20 split, 16,000 cap, which means when you give 16,000 to the broker, you're done. Now, the thing that sets us apart and a couple other companies out there, one of the biggest things that set EXP apart, we have a thing called an icon program. So let's say you pay your 20,000 in cap, you do 20 more deals, boom, you're good. Or if you do at least 500,000 GCI in a certain time frame, over like 10 deals or something, then you get your icon. There's a couple different ways depending what kind of producer you are. If you're a high producer or a regular producer, I'm talking more of newer agents. That's why I'm not getting into that high level stuff right now. If you're a newer agent getting in, you want to do this 80-20, $16,000 cap, which right now in our market in San Antonio is about 300,000. So you make about 8,000, 9,000 after your 80-20 split, you're around 6. So 10 of those, even less than 10, probably about 6 or 7. So you do a couple, 2 or 3 a month, 3 months, 2 a month for 3 months, you're capped. Boom, move on. Right in that time, real quick off the top of my head. And then you have the opportunity, if you keep doing well, after you do 20 deals, your icon. You get your whole cap back. And that's just a really good opportunity. Now, the way the traditional franchise structure structured it, this is how it kind of structured out. So again, we're just talking a little bit about history to understand that you had 5 different levels. You had the ownership, they were at the top. You had the international, which would be like Keller Williams. Then you have regional, and I spelled franchise. I know I'm laughing at myself already. I didn't catch my H, so I'll fix that. I spelled the regional, the franchise locally is incorrect. And then the broker, you'd open an office, and then agent would be at the bottom. So you do your work, you do it out, and then that's where you kind of go that way. Now the difference, this is where you got to start thinking, is EXP for me? This is the difference, is that if you want that traditional franchise, and even though I spelled it wrong, I think it's a broken model, so it's kind of funny that I spelled it wrong, and that's okay. So if you want that and you're not sure if that's something you want, you need to understand now the way the EXP model works, if this is something you want. It's a 2-tier ownership. You have the owner at the top, and then you have the agents. And that is huge if you don't understand business or marketing or anything. What that does is huge. That just disrupts everything that was done in the past. What I mean by that is the whole franchise system is now gone. There's no more franchise. So you can't buy a franchise of EXP. It's not available. They still have franchise companies out there, and they're still trying to make it work. But these companies are gone. Disruptors are coming into the market. And not only EXP, like I mentioned, other ones. This is changing. The cloud-based marketing is now becoming an opportunity, cloud-based franchise that help people do well, and to do well and get very well and get successful. So again, some of the good things you got to look at is now the owner, and then you have the agents. That's it. The owner is giving back to the agents. A good example in 2021, EXP gave $125 million to the agents, not the local owners. This was in our stock, our company, our rev share, everything you can learn about EXP that has you work through it. So a lot of people talk about, hey, EXP is a market, a pyramid, blah, 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 all that. Every company is. This is the traditional company. You have owner, international, regional. The money works down, and then the agents are left with nothing. So think of like, here's sand, here's gravel, here's everything slowly sucks a little bit more if you're pouring water. When you get to the very bottom, there's nothing left hardly for the agents. So that way, if you look at this whole franchise system's gone now, and then we can get more money back to ourselves. So this is the first big thing to think about. Is the EXP for me? Do I want to get the money back, or am I comfortable in this cap? There's nothing wrong with here. If you want to just be in a cap model and not, or even a no cap, like I was I was comfortable my first 2 years. I was doing well, and I would have done amazingly better, and I would have been set financially for life by now if I would have been in a different model. But that's okay. I'm getting there. And then right here, you have these other ones, and then you have the EXP model. So when you start thinking about it, where do you want to be? Okay. The next thing you need to do is to put your ego aside, put yourself aside, because I can already hear agents right now. Oh, mine's so much better. I can tell you why. Like, relax. I understand you love it. I'm very happy for you. I'm happy where I am. Everyone's good. I want you to be happy where you're at. That's why we're going through this video. Now, the main thing you need to think, why do you want to get into real estate? The main thing is to duplicate wealth or create a comfortable lifestyle. So when you duplicate wealth or create wealth that you want to get into, there's something called a wealth quadrant. These are 4 things you have to have in order to duplicate wealth or to build wealth and have a create wealth in your system. You need to have a duplication, which means you need to be doing the same thing to make money. You need to have equity ownership. You need to own part of it. You need a passive income, and you need multiple streams. If you're missing one of those out of the 4 quadrant, you may have some wealth, but it's not going to be sustainable. So it's really important. I know I talk a lot of my trainings about business and real estate. If you want to be a business owner, please come to EXP. We will we'll train you how to be a business owner. If you want to be a realtor, you're welcome to come as well, of course, but you have to have a business owner mindset to really do well at EXP. If you just want to open doors, there's nothing wrong with that. If that's your business plan, go do it. But this is not going to be the company for you. These are people who want to make a business, make substantial wealth, and provide for themselves for generations. That's what EXP is for. So with duplication, you're going to do that at any company. Anyone can do that. You open doors, you show homes, you do your job, you get closings. Equity ownership at EXP, you now own part of the company. As your first closing, you get stock, you own part of the company, you're ready to go. Passive income, as you bring people in and share like I'm sharing with you. Anyone who wants to learn more, reach out. We're sharing. At that point, when you get that passive income and you're loading up and you're becoming part of a group and joining, then you start making income what other people are doing. That 125 million, that didn't come out of the agents, that came out of the broker side. The broker gave up that money to help agents out. And then you have the multiple streams of income. There's 4 or 5 major streams. I like the analogy of when you're driving down a road in a regular broker, you're getting great, you're doing good, you're on that main one road, that highway, and you're doing good. You're on that hamster wheel. You're making the money. Repeat, repeat, repeat. There's nothing wrong with that. And you're making your money. But I want to pull in my other lanes. If I can pull passive income, equity, multiple streams, all those pull in different ways, and they all make me money and bring me in. That's where you need to start thinking like that. If you are a business owner, your mind's already thinking like that. If you're a realtor, you're just like, I'm okay with the hamster wheel. And there's nothing wrong with that again. Go through, do your hamster wheel, and get burned out. At that point, you're going to come back and say, I remember that thing Andrew said, I need to make those passive income. Because I learned the hard way. I'm trying to share my pain that I had with it. Don't go through what I go through with the no cap. I'm laughing again with my no cap. Because I did that for my first 2 brokers, not knowing what I was doing. Because I never had a video. No one ever sat down and talked to me like this. Okay. The second thing why you get into real estate is you need to create a comfortable lifestyle. Do you have money freedom or time freedom or both? So a lot of people will say, well, I have money freedom. I'm making tons of money. But if you stop working, I hear a lot of agents, one of my favorite things I hear is, hey, if you need to sell a house, go on vacation. Everyone's going to call you. You're going to get tons of time. You're going to sell your house. What if you go on vacation and your time is taken the whole time and you're still doing real estate? How are you supposed to enjoy that vacation? You're going to say, I don't care. I'm making money. Again, you're worried about the money freedom. So is time worth more than you than money? So at EXP, the other models, what we have here at EXP is we can give your time. So if I go through and I have my duplicate, my passive, my income, all that, and I don't have a deal closing and I want to take a week off, I have 3 or 4 other streams of income bringing me money. I'm okay not taking a week off. I'm going to be all right if I don't close a home this week because I have 2 or 3 other streams feeding my bank account. So I can still make my 20, 30,000, whatever per month, per couple of months. I have people who make $1 million a month that I know of with their passive streams. They've been working hard at it. So when you do that, they can take a month off. I had a good friend had a heart attack. His daughter needed help. He had a heart attack. He was in the hospital for 2 months. He didn't worry. He had streams of income without having to close. There's things out there that sets your time freedom. So you always tell people, ask yourself, if emergency happened, would you be able to take a month off of work and still survive? I can say, yes, I can. If you can't say that, or 2 months off, or 3 months, or an emergency, you get a heart attack, or you break, God forbid, knock on wood right here, and don't do that. But if anything like that happens, are you okay? Would your family be okay? Would you still be able to survive? If you can't answer yes for that, then you really need to take a look at yourself and say, am I in the right company? Am I the right place to take care of my family? So that's an important part to think about when you're getting into real estate. Again, you have the history. You know why are you getting into real estate? Put your ego aside and think, would this be better for me? I don't know. It might not be. But if it is, we're here to help. And the other big thing that a lot of company agents tell me and a lot of people say is that their training is screwed up. It's flawed. A lot of new agents need help with the training. And put in there, especially the new agents. And top agents, a lot of other brokers I've talked about that I've gone to, when I come in, I say, hey, you're doing amazing. Can you tell me what you're doing? Yeah, sure. Join my team, 50-50 for a year. And I'll tell you. And I was like, no, I just want to know how you're doing so well. Let me know. And they're like, no. I'm like, okay, that kind of sucks. So they're not willing to share their information with you. But that's all right. In EXP, we get trained by the top agents, those icon we talked about, who cap and do the 20 deals or more. They are the trainers. The ones who are the top at what they do are the trainers. I train a lot doing KV Core and Lofty and social media and stuff. And I'm one of the top trainers here in the San Antonio area. I trained 7 or 8 different brokers out here. Literally, I travel to Colorado, travel to Houston, travel to Dallas, everywhere, and I train. These are the things we have here, and then we don't charge. If you're at EXP and you need us, we'll make an appointment, sit down with you, do a Zoom call, whatever you need, or we can meet somewhere. We have access to every Regis hotel across the world. It just comes as part of our EXP package, and you're good to go, and you can just go have fun and knock it out. So again, top agents are trainers, and they will train you how to be productive, and they'll tell you exactly what they're doing to get their great deal so that you can have success. You have to have an abundance mindset. There's plenty to go around. Go ahead and make the money. And another big thing, the next big thing here after, the training is flawed, is if you're not willing to adapt. Are you going to be willing to adapt to the way the market changes? 2020, we had to do a whole different market with COVID and everything going on like that craziness here in San Antonio. We had to adapt and change. A lot of agents couldn't do it and they died. Right now, it's 2024. The market's changing. Are you willing to be able to change? The rates change. Everything's changing. If you can't adapt, you're not going to be able to make it. Are you willing to take chances? Which means like I'm making videos right now. Are they the best? Of course not. Are they the worst? Hopefully not. We'll have to answer that. But hopefully they're not the worst, so they're good. I have agents say, yeah, thank you for your video to help me out. I'm doing that to try to take chances. I'm getting out of my comfort zone. I enjoy going out, doing things. I'm an introvert. Great. Who cares? Let me get out and do the work and make it happen. You got to get out of your comfort zone. You got to take chances. And then you want to think about what's happening to businesses right now. What happened to Blockbuster? It's gone. I'm old enough now, people say, how old are you? I say, I've been on the phone with Blockbuster before when I was a kid. So that's the age you can tell, hey, I was there. We used to call. Do you have this movie? And if not, you're running down, trying to find it, trying not to buy snacks, turn into a ridiculousness. Now we just open Netflix, watch a movie. It's amazing. Or Prime, whatever you're using. And then you're good. Uber is the same way. Everyone said, hey, you can't have a business if you don't own the place, if you don't own a building, if you don't own a company. Airbnb. How are you going to run a whole Airbnb if you don't own the buildings? So this is all changing. The business is changing. All of it's changed the way it works, the way it goes through. If you're not willing to think about that and how to work with it, you're not going to be successful. So that's, if you're good with EXP, we'd love to have you. If you want to, understand how that works, like we mentioned here, and get the great training, be flexible, and be willing to see all the opportunities you have with the multiple streams of income. If you're not willing to do that and put your ego aside and learn, even if you're an experienced agent, sit down, learn a little bit, reach out and call me. I'll make a phone call. We'll have a chat and we'll get you in and we'll get you set up. If you're not willing to do that, then EXP is probably not for you. And you're probably going to be better off with a more traditional franchise method. But if you're willing to give up the franchise method and make it happen, we are here to help you and take care of you and make it work and make sure you are successful. I have some other videos coming up which will explain like mentors and stuff like that. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't, and we'll talk to you soon.